Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors. A tri-stick rendition. We're going to do a Work Tough Wednesday tri-stick rendition. Now, what you guys see here is a paper, I believe it's Online Caveman, and basically it's got nine or 10 different notches. Now, this was based on Morris Kaczynski. It was up here somewhere. We've got a sharp point. We've got a half spear where essentially they cut the sharp point off, I believe, that you use for a bow drill. A saddle, 90-degree latch, reduction, the beam, a V-cut, very, very standard. A set, number 7 is a hook. I've been practicing on this one a whole lot. Number 8 is the hole. This one is a toughie, I'm going to tell you. And I'm sure not to my subscribers, you guys are masters of it all, but the old scabbard is. And finally, the sharp edge, which I've done this a couple of times. So, and William Collins sent this to me, Tri-Stick Woodcutting Workshop for Kids. Hey, I wanted to talk to y'all about a couple of different things here and go over some things with you. I'm going to use the Nomad Bushcrafter, and I'm going to use the Voyager. We'll pull those out. And there's a reason. One, this is the Nomad Bushcrafter, designed by Zeke Manacho. So, you know, it's a bushcraft knife, supposedly. So we'll check it out. Both are sharp as shit, polished edges. For this kind of stuff, I do prefer a toothy edge, but I've honed these up. I stropped them and did a little sharpening on them. Let's see if we can bring, there we go, bring that into focus. The Voyager. Now, this goes on sale April 26, Friday, April 26 at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Work Tough Gear's website. I know, guys, sometimes these are hard to get, but I also know that Work Tough Gear has been doing more and more at Knife Center and DLT Trading. So let's do this. Let's pull one up. I'll tell you what, guys. Let's just do a 90-degree latch. I know that I did a video the other day, and I'm calling it part 1. That's fine. We're going to do some simple ones. I want to keep this video at 10 minutes or better. So we're going to work on it. Now, in the other video, I said, I don't care what you use, if you use a Swiss Army knife saw, or if you baton or whatever, and I don't. And I had several people say, and I want everybody to understand me, nobody was trolling, nothing negative. They were just saying, scab. At some point, you ought to try one regular. And here's the truth, guys. When I get shit like this on my mind, I do it all the time, right? If I use a Swiss Army knife on camera, or if I, baton a little bit on camera, that is a time-saving thing. The one thing I want to do and get out of all this is improve my skill set. That's kind of the point. Now, this 90-degree latch or notch would be used more for a tent stake or something like that, or if you want to tie something down. But basically, you cut in like this, cut down, and then just start taking pieces out. And we're going to make it a 90-degree. That's what it says it is. While I'm working on this, guys, let me go over my causes with you. We'll get those done. Those are important to me in the life of the channel. There was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, stats are everywhere, right? The real numbers are anywhere from 15 to 29. That's why here on this channel, we focus on the number 0. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. Vets, we love you. You have a place here. And hopefully, man, before I die or before I end this YouTube channel, we'll see that number drastically dropped. My next one is this. I backed the Blue. My kid's a cop, but long before he was a cop, I supported Leo. And let me explain something. And I say this really more out of a heart of love and understanding than anything. People will say, back the Blue till it happens to you. Well, guys, in all honesty, full disclosure, it's happened to me far more than it'll ever happen to most of you. I have my reasons. I've said them. That is what it is. I'm just not here to shove it down your throat. You know what I'm saying? That's not me. It's not my personality. Finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. And that's another thing that I do not shy away from. I am most certainly an addict. And you can pick up certain traits, as we go. It's not bad. That's a good start for one. That's my 90-degree. And I would clean that up some. Now we're using a couple different kinds of sticks. This one is a camphor. And I'll tell you something about this right here. This starts off as a weed and it grows into a tree, the camphor tree. But I'm going to tell you something. When this shit dries out and you throw it in a fire, son, it burns hotter than fat wood. It's like grease lightning. And it goes up, and I've got a bunch stacked up over at Kirk's. I'm feeling better. Back's feeling better. So my goal is to be over at Kirk's this weekend. The thing about the Voyager, one of the reasons I want to use this, it's just got a comfortable grip no matter how you hold it. Now, I've got hard use videos on both of these knives, okay? And let me say this too, to some of you guys that are newer here, that check out a lot of the shorts and things like that. Guys, the shorts have a specific reason, and they do their job. But every knife you see on the short, almost without exception, there's a couple, have hard use reviews. It don't make a shit if it's $1,000. 9 times out of 10, there's a hard use review, okay? That's what we base the channel on in real life, but we don't abuse them. There's our 90 degree. Let's work on a hook notch. I believe it's also been called a 7 cut. I believe that's what it's called. But you start off, we're gonna make an X. You know what I'm gonna do for time, just for time constraints. Here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna take it like this. And this is essentially just to save time. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna come here. Now again, I've been putting a lot of time and practice into these, because one thing with me, when I do something like this, or I take something like this on, I'm gonna move this so I don't do something stupid to myself. When I take on these challenges, or when I issue a challenge, I'm not one of these guys that's gonna send you out to do something or ask you to do something and not try it, or lie about my skill set. I can bash with the best of them. I can crash with the best of them. And the truth is, here's just the real God's honest truth about this. I've been looking for a little something to add to the channel, right? And the reason is I love doing what I'm doing. I love testing knives. I love bashing on knives. But if we're going to really get in there and really be a knife channel, we're really going to do some real reviews. Well, I think it's important, and I might have screwed up. See how my X there? But I think it's important for a couple things. One, I think it's important to have a real knife skill set, not just slamming it up and down in the tree. I can chop with the best of them. I don't think that's, and I don't say that arrogantly. It's just the truth. You know, I can chop. But how much are you going to use that in a real life situation? I mean, that's what we have to be mindful of. So I thought, you know, if I'm going to talk the talk, and if I want to be one of the best out there, and I do, I've never shied away from that. I'm not on here to suck at this. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to be one of the best at it, I thought we got to get some real skill set going. So this is one of the reasons for it. Now, once I get this down deep enough, we'll quit. And again, when I'm kind of by myself doing this, I'll take the time, and there is some cursing in it and things like that, but I'll take the time to just do all this by hand. All right, that should give us plenty. And basically, you can go ahead and you can see it here. You can see that's going to be our notch. And what it'll do is it'll sit like this, and you would put a pot hold, you know, put a pot hanger, put a pot hold, whatever, hat, whatever. And obviously, this part will be much longer. You'd stick in the dirt. But for skill's sake, we just grabbed a little stick. So let's start removing this. And basically, all these start out the same, right? I mean, you're just removing some stuff, doing a little slicing, a little dicing, that kind of thing. And the other side is this, and I say this too, and I'll never judge how anybody does anything. It depends on the knife. But guys, I'm just going to be honest with you. If I'm in a real situation where I need something fast, I'm going to use the best tools at my disposal, and I'm not going to stress over it. If the name of the game is living, or hell, let's just be realistic. If the name of the game is being comfortable, you know, we live in a modern world. You know, I'm not Daniel Boone. It's good to have the skill set. The other side of that is this. It's good to do it with one knife. I advocate that, practice a lot. But the other side is, don't have one knife on you. You know, even if you got you a little pocket knife, be prepared for whatever's going to be thrown your way. Yes, build your knife skill set. I am huge on that. Yes, do that. We should do that. But also, know the knife you need. Know what you need. I talked about this the other day, and I don't want it to be misconstrued at all. You know, the popular saying is, well, the best knife's the knife you got on you. Well, that sounds good. But you know how you remedy that? You prepare for the situation you're going into. And if you're prepared as best you can, you're going to have the right knife for that situation. Now, I've talked a lot about here lately, a 90-degree spine. Most of, if not all, work Tuff gears have 90-degree spines. That's not just striking ferrocenium rods. That's not it. You may need it. You may want to take it to clean something up, do a little scraping, make a little duff. There's a lot of different strip, somebody help me, strip, like meat off bones, stuff like that. Whatever you need a 90-degree spine for, it's not just striking a ferrocenium rod. One thing, too, to bear in mind, when you have a 90-degree spine, be mindful. Be mindful because of the harmonics of a knife, how much you baton or how hard you hit it batoning. You don't have to believe me, you don't have to listen to me, but be very, very careful just batoning the shit out of a 90-degree spine. And people say, well, that's what a bushcraft knife is. It is. It is. And you can baton if you would like. I'm not against it. I don't do it a lot except on here to show, the edge and all that stuff. There's a lot of times, man, we do stuff on YouTube, just to be honest with you, for damn clicks and views. I may baton the shit out of a bigger log, right? But you want to be mindful, and it's basic harmonics of the steel. I talked to William at length about that, and it's not saying you can't do it. If you have like somewhere like this, a little choil or somewhere like that, or on a kukri where you see the cutout, that is for some give, right? So if you've got a 90-degree spine on your favorite belt knife or bushcraft knife, just be mindful. I'm not telling you not to do it. Just be mindful of doing it. And there's a million different. There we go. Now, these aren't the most professional looking. I get it. Let's go back to the Voyager. Let's do a sharp end here, and we'll call it. I got to go from a walk. I've started doing some yoga with Megatron. I've lost 40 or 50 pounds, and I was telling her that's great, but if you can't move, like the other day at work, man, I was walking across the damn yard at work, and I got frustrated. I get really aggravated with myself. And part of the reason for that is I've lost 45 or 50 pounds. I'm not patient. For the vast majority of my life, guys, I was in shape. I know that's hard to believe. And I'm not talking about a Greek god. I always just looked like I worked out. My diet was never good. But, I worked out. I've been in shape. I'm feeling good. And, man, I was walking across the yard, and it was like I hadn't lost a pound. Now, I'm talking about a work yard where there's strips, falls, all that. And I was talking to Megatron about it, and she said, well, babe, let's do some yoga. She said, would you be with us? Hell yeah, let's do it. So we started doing that. My goal, guys, and can I just be real with you? Can I just have a moment with you? I've said for 2 years that I wanted to do camping and that kind of thing on the channel, and I do, right? And I enjoy camping. I love camping. But the realization hit me not too long ago, right? Ain't nobody going to watch a channel about camping or, surviving in the woods, whatever you want to call it, with a fat guy. It ain't going to happen. Why? How in the hell can I go out in the woods, out of shape, out of breath, stumbling everywhere, and tell you how to take care of yourself when I can't take care of my own damn self out of the woods? And that just really kind of resonated with me. Now, nobody said anything. Nobody has to. I've always been pretty good about policing myself and keeping myself in check, even at the height of some of the addiction stuff. That's one of the reasons that I'm here. I stepped off, yes, but there was always that voice bringing me back, and I'm thankful for that. So I thought, man, we're gonna get in shape and we're gonna take off with this channel because I love doing this, man. And I do this really, truly, honestly because I love doing it. I also do it too because we got a great community going here with the Choir Boys community. I mean, we just do. We got a lot of good people, a lot of people that love this channel. And if you're new here, if you got a question, do me a favor, don't ask. Don't. I hate the third person shit, you know. Like, anybody know what knife he's using? Just say, Scab, what knife are you using? If I don't answer it, some of you guys respond and comment every damn video. And y'all will never know how much I appreciate that. You'll never know, right? But if you see somebody ask a question, answer it. I ain't gonna be mad. I'll be more appreciative than anything, especially right now. All right. Are these the same 3 damn notches we made the other day? They may be. Now, one thing is with this sharp end, you know, tent stake, spear, punji stick for the kids in the neighborhood. You can do all of that and clean it up. What you want to do is you don't want a fine point. I was talking to Blackie, and we don't want a fine point. We want something that's well-rounded, that's sturdy. So just I'm working my way around it. And what I believe, guys, what I believe that half spear is, I might be wrong, half sphere, not spear. I believe that's for a bow drill. So what we're going to do, let me see if I can get this halfway symmetrical. So we're going to wrap it up. Now this probably would not be the stick for a bow spear, or a bow sphere. You know what I'm saying. Bow drill, shit. All right, so let's do this. Here's a little bit better example. Let me see. Okay, yeah, here's a little bit better example. And this one might be a little easier to work with. Again, guys, this Voyager, and the only reason I'm saying this, I don't give a shit if y'all buy them or not. And I'm not saying that to be mean, ugly, or otherwise. Alex is a brother in the blade, and I love that dude. Alex from Aurora Borealis Knives. But I'm saying that because they're good knives, and people ask me all the time, Scab, when they're going on sale. Friday, April 26th, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which will be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, I was asked if it's worth it. Yes, it's absolutely worth it. I love the Voyager. We're just going to baton straight through here. So we would have this. Now this would probably be the better bow drill. I believe this is oak. So we'd have our sharp point. That is a horrendous half sphere. I don't want to leave it like that. Let's see. This is one I got to work on. But guys, here's the last thing. Here's old Scab's last lesson. One thing I'm not, and I'm dead ass with this, I'm dead serious, I'm not scared to fail. I'm just not. At 52 years of age, been run over, hung up wet, all that, you know, been down the road and lived to tell about it. I ain't scared of shit. Why? Oh, I failed. Ooh, what are you going to make fun of me? I don't give a shit. I'm here to get better and to show y'all knives. This is one we're going to work on. Because that ain't looking like that. All right. You know what? Let's do a saddle. That saddle has kind of kicked my ass. Let's do a saddle. We'll call it a day. Again, if you have done this and you tagged me or whatever, and I missed it on Instagram, Facebook, or even on here, if you have tagged me and I've missed it, put in the comments, Scab, I tagged you. I did one on Facebook. I did one, you know. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make me a little line here. A little line here. Just give me something to go on. But yeah, let me know. Scab, I tagged you on Facebook. Or I tagged you on Instagram. My Instagram's the same as my YouTube, Choir Boys Outdoors. I do have, be very careful here, I do have another Instagram that's Choir Boys Old Scab. I never go to it. I never go to it. And let me just say this, unless I have been talking to you on Instagram Messenger, I do not check Instagram messages. I just don't. I don't. Between the damn Pakistani knife maker and the you know, gorgeous supermodels that just think I'm sexy. I just don't, I can't, and I'm being smart there. We all know that's some sweaty, swarthy guy in India trying to hit you up. I just don't check them, man. And good Lord, the Pakistani knife making guys wear me the hell out. You buy? No, bastard. Anyway, listen, I'm going to leave y'all with it. I'm going to go for my walk. Man, I love you. Happy Work Tough Gear Wednesday. I hope you guys have had a phenomenal Wednesday. We're going to work on another tri-stick with some different knives on Saturday. It'll probably be like a little bonus video or something like that. I do plan on getting a choir video out Saturday. So to all of you in the choir, man, thank y'all so much. I love you. Guys, I'm Scav. You're not. And I'm gone, son. Y'all have a good one. That ain't looking too sadly.